Hello, my lovelies. What we have here is my Red 2258 that I have poured and polished, muffler mod, and opened the top cover. I'm running a 325 20-inch steel RS setup on it that I just sharpened, and we're gonna let it warm up and do a cut. Then we're gonna tape up these vents and see if it gets faster. Okay, here we go. Was it faster? I don't know. Felt the same to me. But now I'm going to take this bar and chain off and put it on the Redmax GZ5000 and do some further tests. Woohoo! Further test, further test. We're going to do some further tests. There we go. This time I'm going to try and have you there right from the get-go, so that you can see any initial readings that we're having before the gauge possibly breaks. Well, right off the jump there, that's completely inconclusive. Vibrations could be causing that. I know. Okay. So that sucks. But I've got a plan B. First, let's go ahead and get this thing warmed up and do a cut. And, well, we'll do two cuts. One with the top cover on, one with the top cover off. Now, we're going to go ahead and remove this top cover, and we're going to remove the gauge as well. Goodbye, gauge. It was fun having you for a moment. Let's see if it is slower or faster or same speed. Was it slower? Was it faster? I don't know. The video will tell. Now for our final test. Now we're going to see if it produces enough boost to blow up this balloon. So far, the answer is an astounding no. Okay, we're back. We got a purple balloon this time, but I gotta admit I am afraid that we're gonna see nothing again because I could find nothing wrong. The top cover seemed to be sealed up just fine, as well as the tube was clear and everything. So, oh, I used that piece of tape. I gotta put another tape over the primer right here to seal it. Okay, so in conclusion, I don't know what the results will be as far as the time cuts. My guess is there's going to be no difference. That sucks. I really wanted this to work out in the way that I wanted it to. We're all like that. There's nothing wrong with that. But I ain't going to lie, it's not boosted. No. I'll have to test out a modern one like a Mark II or something like that and see if it's better on those. For those that don't know, the Red Max 5000, this right here is set up, it's the same thing as a 545 Mark I. I did put crank stuffers in it, so now you could kind of officially call this a 550 XP Mark I, but it's not the Mark II. Anyways, we'll see what the cut times say. It is creating a positive pressure, without doubt, because air is coming out of the tube here, but it's so minuscule. It's so minuscule that it's not even able to get the balloon to expand to, just to a regular round shape, let alone actually expand and pull on the elastic of the balloon. So that's not even one PSI. Wild. I really thought this was going to do something else. But regardless of all of that jazz, the saw is running fantastic. Let's see if I can get it to move around some of this sawdust. Maybe that'll do something. I don't know. I don't know. nothing. Yeah, I'll admit that was shocking to me. Nothing. So maybe if I had a bigger tube that would allow more volume, then we could actually see CFM movement. This little tiny tube could be blocking off volume. But as far as pressure goes, if it had proper pressure, this right here would be blowing sawdust all over the place, and it just was not. So am I hurt by this? Yeah. I mean, not like on a personal level, but I was like, I really wanted so badly to showcase this. The gauge moving, maybe there is something there, but no, I right here, right now, I'm going, no, it's not boosted in any capacity. It does provide nice flow, and you have a slight positive pressure, and that is what's keeping all of your sawdust from being sucked in, right? So that's how this system actually works. It's creating a positive pressure so that your engine doesn't suck chips, and that's why the filters on these, they stay so remarkably clean. They without question, they may not be boosted, they may not be actually air injected, but they do without question. No one can deny this, and if you think that you can, you're just wrong. They have the best air filtration system of anything on the market. All of the 5 Series Huskies have this set up, and they're fantastic. The 3 Series was really good as well. The 2 Series was really good as well. They had air injection with them as well. I mean, my steel chainsaws, you run those good for 30 minutes, you better be cleaning off that filter, honestly, because they're still sucking it in versus these are blowing the chips out. But as far as any boost, no, they ain't making boost. Unless we see the cut times are remarkably different between the two, which I don't think they're going to be. One final little test here. So yeah, without question, it is producing volume and air is flowing, right? It just is not producing measurable PSI. All right, so what did we learn? I always like doing these little sessions afterwards because I think that we're the same. I want to actually have the knowledge and learn. And what I learned is that regardless of what may or may not have happened in a lab where they could test it and possibly have it sealed up perfectly, what I found in my testing is it's no measurable pressure. However, there is obviously volume. Okay, so if you can just get it to slightly above atmospheric pressure, which it's clearly doing because it's pushing out. All right, that's the paper towel. You can see it blowing out. I know that the camera wasn't set up at the perfect angle. I can't be perfect. I come close though. But anyways, so yeah, it was pushing air out of that hole, but not on a level to where I could measure it. It wasn't even putting out enough pressure to take a flat balloon and go like this. It couldn't even do that. So I'm going to say that there is no PSI gain whatsoever on the testing that I've done so far. A Mark II might be better, might not, I don't know. But clearly, it is producing volume. And it's also allowing air to flow into the cylinder much faster, because before with the top covers open, right, what you have is you're relying completely on the pressure drop that piston is capable of creating. It creates a pressure drop, and then the outside ambient pressure pushes your air through. Well, the pressure inside that box is clearly above ambient pressure. I just can't measure how much, right? And so therefore, as soon as the pressure starts to drop just the slightest amount, air is able to flow in. And so it does clearly make the saw faster. We saw that. Each saw was a full second faster with the air box sealed up. And that's a lot. That's a 10% gain. You know, it's more than 10% because both of these were over 10 seconds in the cut. The fastest cut time, though, goes to the Redmax 5000, which I can't help but be really proud of that. It beat a 60cc, 59cc, 2258. That has also been ported. Now, that was back whenever I first started. I clearly have better abilities now. If I was to go back and port that 2258, it'd be slightly different. But regardless, that is a ported and a muffler modded 2258, and it runs really good. It's as good as a stock 562 XP. I think that I did the test, and the answer is no. I think that I may have, but it's very close for sure. And did I do the test? I don't know. It's not important. Maybe I'll do the test in the future. I don't know. But whenever I did the test, for sure, I would have had 3/8 chain on both. And this Johnson Red is about 2 seconds faster with that 325 chain on. So I'm pretty confident that my Redmax 5000 little 50cc saw would beat a stock 562 if the 562 was wearing a 3/8 chain. Anyways, but that's not important. The important thing is does it make boost? No. That's what I've come up with this testing. However, it does create a slightly positive pressure, or it's not enough boost to consider it force injected, force induction. You know, it's not enough, but it is enough to make a difference. And so then the call goes out. I think that 2 different saws I've done this with, and I showed you very conclusive proof that your saw would be faster if you left that enclosed. And so that's what I will do from here on out. There is a lot to be said too about a great big nice
air filter. They're cool. They do filter really well, and they flow well, right? So I'm not knocking anybody at all. This is my own personal thing. I didn't make it to shut anybody down or any of that crap. If you want to run a big air filter, run a big air filter. But me, for my own, now at this point, I'm going, yeah, I'm going to not look to do that on any of the Huskies. Pretty much any of them from 2 series on up, because they all offered a similar thing. Some of them will work better than others for sure. Like the Husky 55 has air injection on it. Is it working as well as this Red Max? Probably not, but it might be. And but you get what I'm saying. I'm going, yeah, I'm not cutting holes in my top covers anymore. Not for the Husky 5 series, at least. That right there, I am convinced at this point that it is a hindrance rather than a benefit. So, yeah. But you got to love that system, though. I mean, I know we all have our preferences. Clearly, I prefer the Swedish-made saws. I clearly think that they have got it down pat. And but regardless of what you like, you could run one of these things and run your favorite other brand for a month, every day. And you might complain about this or that, it runs too hot, blah, 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 blah. One thing you ain't going to complain with a Husky 5 Series is that air filter. I mean, they stay so clean. My Steel MS400 is packed with sawdust. And it's only after running it a couple tanks. Whereas that Jonsered 2255, I've put a lot of 15, 20 tanks through it. I ain't never dusted out that air filter. And it's even got the side cover, it's got the holes in it. So it's not working as good as it could be. But speaking of that, I mean, I have already fixed the Red Max, and it's sealed up, and we're good to go with that. Will I seal up my 2258? Absolutely. I don't know if I'll just seal it up with plastic or if I'll get a brand new top cover, because part of why I like that saw so much is because how pretty it is. And so I might just go ahead and get a brand new top cover and dye it black again and put it back on there without the holes. So, but anyways, yeah, conclusive. They are not force fed their air. However, they have enough volume and that it is making up for any amount of air that the engine could ask for. And so it is giving the engine an abundance of air and free flowing, unlike you could possibly get with any other way other than keeping it sealed. Cool?